Hello there, it's Oladipo here. Today's video focuses on revealing to you the hidden cost of owning a premium electric vehicle such as Mercedes EQC 400, which I've owned for about 8 months now. And I want to show you with great details. I've got some figures with you that I've actually very quickly worked out. And I want to compare the EQC 400 with the backup vehicle that I just bought. I bought a diesel engine A7, which actually both cars have similar outputs, similar power. Please stay with me. This is going to be very interesting. I'm going to show you the hidden cost of owning Mercedes EQC 400. Okay, now let me just tell you the specification for each car. The Mercedes EQC 400, I got it new, and the A7, the Audi A7 by V6 by turbo. I'm going to quickly run you through the specifications so that you see how close they are, and that is why I'm very happy to compare the cost of owning and running these two cars for the next 4 years. It's incredible. You're going to be surprised. Now, with regards to the EQC first, the EQC 400 cost about the base price is around £67,500 before you add other specs, other options onto it. Okay, now let me just quickly share with you some specifications here. The engine power for the EQC 400 is 408 horsepower. Now that's very powerful. Now the engine torque is 561 foot torque, 561. It has battery capacity of 96 kilowatt hour, but the usable capacity for the battery is about 80 kilowatts. And the official range is 255 miles per single charge, which I can confirm that is true because I've done that several times. I've done a bit more than that if every other condition is favorable. So that is interesting. That's interesting. Now let's look at the numbers and the specifications for the Audi A7. I got the Audi A7 just recently to be able to back up the electric car, and it's a V6 by turbo engine. It's 2004 plate, and it's done 148,000 miles on the clock. It's a very high spec car that could have cost maybe around £75,000 in 2004. Okay, now what I forgot to tell you about the EQC is that it does 0 to 62 miles an hour in 5.1 seconds. 5.1 seconds, and the top speed is limited to 112. Now let's look at the A7. It's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5 seconds. It just wins it by 0.1 seconds. Okay, now and the engine power is 315 horsepower, and the engine torque is 479 foot torque. So the engine power of the EQC is 408. The engine power of the A7 is 315, but the torque of the A7 is higher, 479 against actually the torque is higher on the EQC. So the EQC is stronger, it's more powerful, but for some reason the A7 is quicker. Okay, now that is that. Now let me now show you the figures. I've very quickly jotted down some numbers here, if you can see right there, of the cost of owning these two vehicles in the next 4 years. And I want to compare them so that you can make a right decision. If you are thinking of buying a premium EV, you want to be thinking, can I actually justify the expense? Can they justify how much I'm spending on this car, or do I have other alternatives? Can I do something differently? So two vehicles with similar specifications, diesel and all electric car. I want to compare them because I'm going to possibly own them for the next 4 years. I want to start with the EQC first. The EQC is on lease, and I'm just going to run you through some of the numbers that I believe I'm going to be spending in the next 4 years. So the contract, the lease contract is 4 years, 48 months, and the first of all, I'll start with the deposit, because you have to put in the deposit. If you're in the UK and not in other countries, you have to do the same thing. The upfront deposit for the EQC lease is around 4,500. 4,500. Now the monthly payments that I pay every month, that goes out of my accounts every month, is 586 pounds. Now if you multiply that by 48, it gives you 20,128 pounds. So for 4 years, I'm going to spend 28,128 pounds on the monthly payment. So if you add that with the initial upfront payment, which is 4,500, so you get 32,628. Now I've worked out the charging cost. Usually, if you charge from home and you have a good energy deal, it should be very cheap. So I average about 10 pounds to charge the EQC, the 80 kilowatts usable capacity, which delivers about 255 miles. So that works out in the next 4 years to be around 1,600 pounds. So which is not bad. That's what many people focus. That's what they focus on. But that is not the only story. You focus on what you save through the fuel cost, but there are other bigger hidden costs that might be eating away your bottom line. Okay, now servicing for the next 5 years, because there's less moving parts and stuff like that. So the servicing is often cheaper. So I budget about £500 to cover the servicing. Hopefully nothing's going to go wrong. And the tires will last, because the tires seem to last longer in electric cars for some reason. At least with the EQC and what I've been monitoring with my own usage. So £500 for servicing. So that brings the total figure to 34,728. 34,728 is the amount of money that's going to leave my bank account in the next 4 years. Now, another hidden cost is this: the estimated excess mileage, because the contract for the EQC comes with 5,000 miles a year. Yes, 5,000 miles. Who does 5,000 miles? I do the average of 20,000 a year. So what happens is that because of the COVID situation, I know my mileage will reduce. So I've estimated that I'm going to do extra 5,000 miles each year. So that means extra 20,000 miles by the end of my lease contract. And the excess mileage cost is 23 pence per mile. So 23 pence multiplied by 20,000, that gives you 4,600 pounds I'm going to have to pay to the lease company when I'm handing over the car. Remember, I'm handing over the car. I'm not keeping the car, or I'm not selling the car to recoup some money. No. I don't recuperate any money. So £4,600, add that to existing 34,728. Then you get 39,328. 39,000, nearly 40,000 pounds is going to leave my pocket. That's how much it costs to drive a premium electric car. Now, wait a minute to see whether this is actually worth the it's worth the badge. Can I actually afford to pay this much this money for the badge alone, for the 3 pointed badge, the Mercedes badge? So just stick with me a moment. Okay, let's look at the figures for owning a used car, an Audi A7 2014 plate, and it's done 140,000 miles when I got it. Okay, now the cost of purchase that car was £14,000. It cost me £14,000. Usually, a car of that nature, because of the high spec that car has, they're actually going for 22, 23, 24, 25,000 pounds. Because of the high mileage, I got it cheaper. And also, the dealership that sold it to me is not it's an independent dealership, not a main or ID dealership. Thought the car did not have a full service history, so they reduced the price further. When I got it, I called the Audi dealership, the main dealership. Fortunately, the car has a complete Audi main dealership service history from 0 to 140,000. You know, that is fantastic. That is fantastic for me. Now, £14,000. Now, the cost of repair, because I love to repair my car, to get it checked out, I checked it into the mechanics, and they clean out the entire engine, then the EVR valve or the carbon buildup in the fuel system. And also they found out that the two injectors were defective, so they changed those, and they did a whole bunch of cleaning and servicing and a whole bunch of other repairs. So that cost me £2,500. So that brings the cost to £16,000. Let me just see. Oh yeah, £16,000. Yeah, £16,000. I've just made a mistake right there. I put £18,000 for some reason. So that's £16,500. Okay, now fuel cost. The fuel cost for the next 4 years. If I drive the same amount of driving that I'm going to do in the EQC, which is 40,000 miles, it's going to cost me 6,819. Premium diesel fuel. Always premium, always premium. Okay, now 6,819 compared to £1,600 of the charging cost. That's what many people focus on. But if you do the math properly, you realize that you're losing more money driving a premium electric car. It could be cheaper buying a less premium electric car that delivers more mileage and more even or similar mileage, similar range. Now the tax on the fuel on the A7 is £1,000, £2,500 each year. So for 4 years, that's £1,000. The MOT and servicing, the MOT will cost about £200 for 4 years. The servicing will cost about £800 for the 4-year period. And also I've budgeted about £4,000 for repair costs. You know, something is going wrong, you know, whatever. You know, I might not spend all that much because I've already cleaned up the car. So £4,000. Now everything comes down to 29,000 for the next 6 years. Okay. Now for the next 4 years rather, 29,000 for the next 4 years. Now, in the next 4 years, I've calculated the depreciation cost effect on the A7. I might be able to sell the A7 after putting 40,000 miles on it. So it was going to be about 188, 190,000 miles by that time. If the car is still in good nick, I'm servicing it at the main dealership. The bodywork is fantastic. You know, the engine runs smoothly as if it's new because I've cleaned it up. Now, I might be able to get a conservative price of 5,000 if I sell it on. So 29 minus 5,000. So that will give me 24,000. £24,319. £24,319 will be the cost of owning a used 7 years old A7 V6 by turbo, very lovely to drive. Oh, I love to drive that car. It's so quick. It's got me a ticket recently. I need to go for the driving course as a punishment. Okay, so 24,000, 24,000. By the way, I'm just talking to you in my office today. Permit me for the space I'm using around here today. So 24,319. 24,319. Now compare that with the 39,328 that I'm going to spend driving a Mercedes if EQC or around. So that works out to be 15,000. 15,000 pound extra. 15,000 pound extra. If I did not buy the EQC 400 and I bought the Audi A7 instead. Of course, we're talking about the environmental situation. It's not good for the environment, but we're still allowed to drive it until the government said we can't drive it anymore. So that means 15,000 pound extra. I'm paying that just for the badge. Of course, also for the environment. But can I justify 15,000 pound extra just for the badge, for the environment, and for the whole package of electrification that I love very much? I love to drive. My EQC 400 around is comfortable, it's enjoyable, but there's a price to pay for the badge. Now the question is, what would I do different if I knew the figures? By the way, I did not do these figures properly, so I'm doing this for your own sake. If you're just at the verge of that decision making, you're browsing and watching videos relentlessly, you want to make sure you do your figures properly. I did not do this properly, and now that I've actually sat down because somebody asked me to do this, I realized that maybe my financial decision might not be as prudent as I thought. But what I realized that I was pursuing the feeling. I wanted to be good with the environment. I wanted to make sure that I drive an electric car that has a premium badge attached to it, and that is the cost of premium. So I hope you found this useful. Maybe this will help you to be able to decide better. The function of the feeling that we pursue will be decided. The cost of the feelings that we pursue will be decided by, the largeness of your bottom line. So if you can afford it, why not? Life is for a living. Life is short. Enjoy your life. But if you can't, if there are other alternatives, or if there are other pressing, urgent needs for your family, for your business, for your career, for your education, whatever, you might want to crunch the figures, just like I've done that today, and make a better decision for your financial future. So Swallow Ladipo, please, I'd like you to leave a comment there if you've enjoyed this video today. I've been very, very straightforward, very, very sincere based on my own costs. And I'd like to hear from you. If you own the EQC, share your own, your own, whatever you want to share based on your own experience. And if you're considering getting the EQC 400, let me know how this figure has actually helped you out. So please, if you've not liked this yet, if you're not following me yet, please just follow it. Follow that video right now. Follow my channel so that you don't miss a thing when I upload a new video. All the very best. Wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye bye.